Life is a struggle. That's all it is. From the time the sperm left your father, it had to struggle in a hostile environment just to meet the egg. And even though he emitted from 100 million to 1 billion, most of them died. And even though he emitted from 100 million to 1 billion, most of them died in the middle passage because only the strong survived. But that one that survived had the will. It moved in a hostile environment. Said, I'm going to make this egg. All the rest is... Difficulty is too much. Let me see if I can back out of this. Too late. So they dropped dead in the middle passage.
That's right.
But you made it. You made it.
Yes, sir.
So you came into the world to struggle.
Yes, sir.
And now you run from it. A good fight brings the best out of you. Sometimes you didn't even know what you had until you were forced. They put you in a corner. You go, I don't want to fight nobody. I wish you'd leave me alone. But then when you're forced, you beat the bully to death. Then you say, hey, well, I didn't know. Then you become a bully after that, huh? See, it's bringing something out of you, but it's difficulty that brings out of you what God has put in you. That's all I'm saying. I think it took a long time to say it. I could have said that in 1 second and kept on going. Don't run from difficulty. God put brother in this. It's a challenge. You can overcome them crackers.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't, the fight will bring something good out of all of you. And it will make the white boy know, man, these are new blacks that we're dealing with today.
That's right.
We can't do the same old thing we used to do. We got to be careful. That's how you change white folks. You have to beat them, overcome them, struggle against their wickedness and overcome it. Then you see them bow. But they're not bowing because they want to. They bowed because they've been overcome. The lamb in the book had to overcome. Look at it. You see that little lamb? He looked like he had been slain from the foundation of the world. He was a lamb, but yet he was a lion. He walked up to the man that sat on the throne and took a book out of his hand.
Come on now.
And when he began to open the seals, there was none that they said was worthy in the heaven above or in the earth below to open the seals. And the 24 elders, they cried because nobody was able. But when the Lamb took the book and opened the seals, then the elders took their crowns and cast them down.
That's right.
Why? Because the Lamb overcame them.
Yes,
it's a struggle, man. Even in heaven, you got to struggle.
Yes, sir.
God didn't make nothing easy. And if you really doubt what I'm saying, if you really love Jesus, you think about him. Here's one that you claim to be the only begotten son. Check up on what you said. He's the only. No one else. No other son. Just this one. And look what his father put him through. Well, if he did that to his son, what you think he's going to do to you? And then Jesus got to a point where he had to come and face death and the cross and all of that, and he didn't want to go through it. He wanted to pass the cup somewhere else. But the Father said, go on and drink it, boy. I'm with you. He was developing in him faith in his God. Faith in his Father. How do you develop faith? You put the man in a trial and make him overcome. Don't help him. Throw him in it. Knowing that he's going to come through if he struggles. then when he struggles, his faith gets stronger, his will gets stronger, then he go on to higher and greater heights. That's why we as Muslims say in the Quran, in the second surah, if you'd like to open your Qurans, if you have them with you. Are you all right?
Yes, sir.
Not going to be long. In section 23 of your Muhammad Ali translation, chapter 2, verse 183. O you who believe, fasting is prescribed for you, as it was prescribed for those before you, so that you may guard against evil. You can't guard against evil, brothers, with a weak will. I mean, that's clear, isn't it? Evil makes a pull on you. The only way you can stop doing evil, you have to have a strong enough desire or will to overcome it. And how do you develop the will to overcome evil? By the practice of fasting. Notice it is called a prescription. Chapter 2, verse 183. Chapter 2, verse 183. In the Yusuf Ali translation, the verse may be one verse different, but if you have it, it's either 182 or 184 in the Yusuf Ali. You got it? Okay, let's move on. You know what a prescription is? It's for people who are what? Sick. Why are black people sick? It's because their will to resist evil is weak. The Bible says, resist the devil and he will what? How many of us resist him? See, we do that thing in church. We talk that. When the Jews attacked Brother Farrakhan, and they really attacked me.
Yes, sir.
I didn't attack them.
Yes, sir.
They attacked me.
That's right.
So viciously, particularly in Los Angeles.
That's right.
They expected that with the barrage of propaganda that they put down, threatening my life, that I would run and hide. They felt that if they talked about me like they did, I wouldn't even be willing to show my face. Just the opposite took place.
Yes, sir. That's right.
They presented me with a difficulty.
That's right.
A difficulty that I really didn't want. But it's a difficulty that my love for Reverend Jackson got me involved in. And once I got involved, it was too late. And I'm not the kind of brother that back down, even though I may be scared. I call on God to overcome the fear, but I'm going to face this difficulty. Now, once I got in it, and I knew that my position was principled and it was correct, then I cannot back down if I'm right. So now a fight is on. Everybody that weakened and would not face that difficulty in that hour, they lost. And in that hour, I gained because I faced the difficulty. And the difficulty did not extinguish the light of my desire to deliver black people. This is why opposition comes. Opposition comes, it is a gift from God to bring out of you what is in you. Without opposition, you don't know what you are. Have you seen people in the gym shadow boxing? I mean, they look so good. Put somebody in front of them, all that shadow, but you wonder where all that pretty move went. They lost it all because an opponent knocked them out in the first round. You don't know what you are without opposition. God has always given his prophets opposition to test their faith and to strengthen their will. And when your will is strengthened and your faith in God is strengthened, there is nothing that you cannot do. And so Paul said, I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. Do you know what that means? He didn't say I can do some things. He said I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me. Then he turns around and said, all things are possible. Nothing impossible with Christ. You really believe that? Then what are you backing out of struggle for? You want difficulty. Because when you get a difficulty and you face it with God, you overcome it and you become a better person as a result. Now, how are you going to do that without strengthening your will? And what better way to strengthen your will than to challenge what is natural in you? My body and your body needs water. We need food, brother. God knows we need food. Now, when you can look at a plate and know you're hungry and say, I will not eat tonight, the stomach start growling, then the food smell extra good. Testing your will, see? And you say, well, maybe I'll eat tonight then. Nobody gonna know. See, you ain't cheating on somebody else. When you break the fast, you're not cheating on somebody else. You're cheating on yourself. You say, well, nobody saw me. Nobody saw me. I ate all day long. And I was supposed to be fasting. Nobody saw me. Did you see yourself? Then you missed out on a wonderful opportunity to strengthen your own will and to develop the power to resist. That's why black people have not overcome as of yet, because the will to overcome is very weak in us. We do things when it's a crisis. When the crisis comes, we all rally around, and if you don't keep that thing hot, brother, people, even though they love you, if it's too long, like if we can do it by 9:30 tonight, well, I don't have to stand out in the cold on a picket line. You know what I mean? You know, it's getting cold, and brother, I can hear him. I'm with you, brother Fabian, but let's get it over quick. You know what I mean? Because I heard it's gonna be below zero today. See, we don't want nothing that is protracted. Don't keep it going too long. And that's why white folks, when they talk to these people when they're holding hostages, they always try to gain a time advantage. Send somebody to deal with your mind while they gain a time advantage. Because they know if they can keep you from doing what you said you was going to do in 6 hours. If I don't deliver by 9:15, I'm killing everybody. Then, for God's sakes, hold up. I mean, we're going to accommodate you, but give us a little more time. Once you make the first accommodation, they know they'll continue to weaken your will. See, it's a mind game. It's a battle of wits and it's a battle of will. And that's what you're involved in. When you talk about liberation, you're talking about a battle of wills. Your will to be free against the oppressor's will to keep you in a state of oppression. Fasting is a prescription to develop your will. And if you will not take this prescription, you will not develop the strength of your will to resist all difficulties and overcome. Now, how many of you know anything about the Orthodox world of Islam and the fast that all the Muslims go through called Ramadan? Okay. All of the Muslims who know this fast, you know that this year we fasted with the whole Muslim world for the first time. Some of my brothers and sisters who want to condemn me say that I should not have done that, but you don't have my job.
That's right. That's right.
I'm doing my job.
That's right. Excellent.
See? Now, those of you who know that the Muslim world condemned Elijah Muhammad because we fasted in the month of December rather than with the lunar calendar and its rotation as the Muslim world does. But I want all of you to know that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was absolutely Quranically correct. If you go back, the Quran says that the month of Ramadan is that in which the Quran was revealed. Stop right there. Now, the Quran didn't make a mistake, but we know that the Quran was not revealed in 1 month. It was revealed over a period of 23 years. So which Quran was revealed in the month of Ramadan? Is there another book that is to come in the month of Ramadan? Or is it that supreme understanding of this book will be given in the month of Ramadan? All the scholars agree that something here needs to be better understood because the Quran was not revealed in the month of Ramadan. It began in the month of Ramadan. And when that first revelation came to Muhammad, the scholars say it came in the month of December. You hear that? The Quran says we should fast for a certain number of days, verse 184. But whoever among you is sick or on a journey, he shall fast a like number of other days. And those who find it extremely hard may effect redemption by feeding a poor man. So whoever does good spontaneously, it is better for him. And that you fast is better for you if you know. Now those words are powerful. Now look, some of us find it extremely hard to fast. How many of you have found the first day of fasting a little difficult? Okay. How did you do? Did you make it? You struggled through and you made it. When you overcame that day, what did you think about yourself? You said, man, I didn't know I could do that. And if you did it the second day, you felt better. And the third day, you felt even better. Now, there are some of us that are sick. We should not fast when we're sick. If you have a weakness or you're under the doctor's care, you don't need to put yourself through something that will hurt your health. But you can't get out of it by saying, I'm sick. There's something else you got to do. You got to feed the poor. Now, when you look at your pocket, see, which is fast getting empty. You don't have but a little. You want to hold on to the little that you got. But God is asking you, if you cannot fast, take some of your money and feed the poor. That is to teach you a lesson also, because this is something that you need. And if you will give it up to obey a command of God, that strengthens your will to resist the greediness of your own soul. And that's how the white man controls black people, by giving you something in a large measure and then asking you to do something that you wouldn't ordinarily do, but the lust for this is so strong that you carry it out. Can you imagine murder for hire? Here, brother, here's 10,000. I want you to kill brother. Think over that. Isn't that crazy? When is this brother's life not worth more than this paper? That's pitiful. So if you hold on to this, like this is the real substance of life, rather than the development of your own personal relationship to the divine and to each other, where in developing personal relationships, sometimes you have to give this. Not for the purpose of developing relationship, but you must never be greedy of this. Holding it, hoarding it. Because this is not salvation. But if you can give it away when you need it, that's the same as fasting when you need food and you deny yourself food for the pleasure of God to strengthen your will, and you deny yourself this to help somebody else. It strengthens your will. So when people think you're a soft touch, see, it is they that are the fools for laughing at the charitable heart of someone, while that person who is charitable is developing themselves, and they are in ranks above the receiver. And that's why Jesus said it is better to give than to receive. Isn't that heavy?
Yes, sir.
Now, believe it or not, I try to give all the time. Whatever God blesses me with, I will share it with others. Because once you hold on to this thing and hoard it, and it becomes the be-all and end-all of your life to get more and more of this, you're losing the development of your own gifts. You understand?
Yes, sir.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was right and exact. If you're sick and on a journey, you can fast what? A like number of days. The next verse says, the month of Ramadan is that in which the Quran was revealed, the guidance to men and clear proofs of the guidance and the criterion. So whoever of you is present in the month, he shall fast therein. And whoever is sick or on a journey, you don't get out of it, you fast a like number of other days when you're well. Allah desires ease for you, and he desires not hardship for you. Now, when we confront the Islamic scholars with this verse, there's none of them yet that has given me an argument, not one.
No, sir.
I said the Honorable Elijah Muhammad chose the month of December for us, because we are new Muslims. We haven't grown up in the faith like you over here. We are new, and we are babies, and Allah desires ease for us and not hardship. So to fast 18 hours in the hot summer like they do in the Middle East would be very difficult for a new Muslim. We want to give him a difficulty factor, but we want to give him something that has ease in it so he can overcome it and build his will to continue to struggle. As a wise teacher. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, no, for my followers, you fast in December. He was right and exact. Now, if the criterion is, if you are sick or on a journey, you should fast a like number of days, well, stop right there. We qualify. Because I can show any doctor anywhere on the planet that we are sick. And he will not argue with me. And every scholar that I pointed that out to, you could see them chuckle and say, I never thought it like that. That certainly is a sick people over there, all right. And I said to them, when you took us from Africa and brought us to America and turned us inside out, you put it in the plan of God to make us have to journey to come back to ourselves and back to our people. So it's a pilgrimage for us all the way to God. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad did not allow us to eat any land animal. And when this pilgrimage, when you get into the real strict part of the pilgrimage, you can't eat that. Fish. So since we are on a pilgrimage back to our God, back to our people, then we're on a journey. Sick and on a journey, so we fast a like number of days in another month. Allah desires ease. Lastly, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad really wanted to strengthen our will to resist the madness of Christmas.
Yes, sir.
And brothers and sisters, if I never see some of you again, I would appreciate it very much if you would resist the madness of Christmas. I wish every mother here, every father, don't you tell these little babies that some big fat white man is coming down no chimney. You listen to me good. And drop off some presents under the tree when you know it's you giving them the present all the time. Don't lie to your children in the name of fun. Listen to me carefully now. Because what happens to your child when that child finds out that it's you, it destroys their confidence in you because you tell them they shouldn't lie. And when they lie, what do you do to their backside? Come on, talk to me, mama. My mother made my backside blue, black, green, every color of the rainbow every time I lied. So I learned that the lie was worse than the thing I did. And then she lied, telling me some big fat cracker came down a chimney and dropped some gifts off. And I want to find this Santa Claus. And she said, well, he was so tired last night, he fell asleep in the bathtub. I said, Ma, you couldn't let him have a bed or something? And I go stand in the toilet, by the toilet, looking in the bathtub at where Santa lay. Because this cracker gave me all these nice toys. And she laughing up her sleeve. She put it over on her little child. But what she did, she put it over on herself. Because when I found out that she had been lying all along, what do you think I thought? I trusted you, mother. You beat my backside for lying. Now you come up lying. I can't whoop you. But why did you lie? Well, it's a little white lie, just in the name of fun. on Jesus' birthday. Look at you, how you disgrace the memory of a man you say you love by lying to your babies on the day when a man who is the spirit of truth comes into the world.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his servant and messenger. I greet you, my beloved brothers and sisters, and regular viewers of the Imagination Show. I greet you in the greeting words of peace. We say it in the ancient tongue of Arabic. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Welcome, 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 dear beloved family, to another episode of the Imagination Show. My name is Brother Leo Muhammad, and sitting alongside me is my beloved sister, my beloved wife, my beloved friend, Sister Claudia Muhammad.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. I greet you all in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, beloved.
And Ramadan Mubarak to you all.
Ramadan Kareem.
Praise be to Allah. How are you all? Is anybody taking part in the Ramadan? Let us know in the chat.
Yeah, let us know if you're taking part, if you are attempting to do the fast of Ramadan this year. Go ahead.
Yeah, and just to say, whilst it's Ramadan, the shows will be for
1 hour in duration. Just 1 hour in duration, family. So we're going to have some very quick fire shows so that we can, break our fast and do other things and do our prayers and so on and so forth. Last year, during the month of Ramadan, it was a similar thing.
Yes.
This year, it's the same. And then once the month has passed, then we'll get back to our regular time.
That's right.
Okay,
Inshallah.
family?
So Ismail Sise, Assalamu alaikum. Yes, he is fasting.
Oh, praise is due
From
to Allah.
Finland.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Family, it's really something very, very special.
It is.
It's not what we think. If we think it's just, just a little privation for 30 days or
That's
whatever.
right.
It is, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said a few minutes ago, about strengthening our will.
That's right.
And do we appreciate, as original people, as Black people, who primarily are caught up in this drama of white supremacy and Black inferiority that has been imposed on us for the last 500 plus years? Do we appreciate, family, that we can never fully come out of that condition if we haven't the willpower
That's right.
to fast
That's right.
30 days?
That's right.
You see, because it is, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, this liberation struggle is a battle of wills.
That's right.
It is literally a war of attrition. And those who are unable to sustain a fast, sustain an attitude or a stance for a protracted period of time, it's just a test.
That's right.
And
strengthen you.
Absolutely. And it's training.
That's right.
For us, you see, as a people. So I do hope and pray that, those of you who are not regular fasters, that you will try, even if you just end up doing a few days, 10 days,
1 day,
you know what I mean?
half a day,
whatever,
That's right.
just move away from that normality, that comfort zone,
yes,
which literally represents death.
yes,
You see, and if we want life and life in more abundance, then we need to move closer to the program given to us, the prescription given to us by Almighty God, Allah.
yeah, praise be to Allah. Michael Walker says, I'd love to, and then now he's saying, yes, I will try. Yeah, just
Go for
take
it,
your
man.
time. Yeah, just take your time.
Go for it, Brother
Yes.
Michael. You'd be surprised what you can do, brother.
Absolutely.
Once you make up your mind. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said there's nothing more powerful than a mind that's made up.
And you feel great once you achieve, and it is a mighty achievement. Don't take it for granted that, oh yes, no, It is a mighty
It is a
achievement.
mighty achievement.
In Satan's world, to not eat.
Right,
Oh my goodness.
where people are eating
All the
morning
time.
till night
That's right.
and all through the night.
That's right.
You know, when you can have the discipline, family,
Oh,
to
absolutely.
say to your stomach,
Yes.
not today,
That's right.
not at this time, that demonstrates and that shows that you are a person who is in control
That's right.
of you.
That's right.
You are a person who is getting to know you.
Mm-hmm.
You're a person who is mastering self.
Absolutely. And getting closer to Allah.
Absolutely.
And also, so just to say, praise be to Allah, Stephen Brown is fasting and Sister Paulette is fasting. All praises to you to Allah. And just to say, but even if you're not fasting, you know, as the minister said, you can feed the poor, try and kick out old bad habits, you know.
Absolutely.
So it's for everyone.
It is a time of transition and change. And so if you may be ill, you may have an illness,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and because of your illness, you can't fast. But as Sister Claudia said, you can feed a poor person,
That's
or, you know, give in charity,
Mhm.
or, you know, do a kind deed.
That's
You
right.
know, these are all things that we can strive to do. We can strive to break a bad habit.
That's right.
And that could be anything. Some of us are still smoking, some of us are still vaping,
Mhm.
some of us are still doing things which are absolutely detrimental to our longevity, detrimental to our health. And so anything that you can do during this time period, during this holy month of Ramadan,
Yeah.
anything that you can do to change,
That's right.
you know,
It is about change.
very much so,
That's right. For the better.
very much
It's like
so,
a purification.
very much
And
so.
Allah has to purify us in order to use us. You have to go through that purification process and the trial and the test. It's only to get closer to him. It's not a punishment, it's to get closer to Allah. And I'm not, how do you say that? Is that N8 the great?
N8 the great, yeah, the greatest.
And Ramadan Kareem to you, and praise be to Allah that you are fasting. Praise going well.
Praise be to Allah. That is beautiful, family.
It is
absolutely beautiful.
Praise be to Allah.
And so, you know, family, as always, I want to encourage you to call a friend, a relative, a loved one. Let them know that Imagination is live and direct right now on Zoom and also on YouTube. And of course, we want to encourage you to hit that like button
Mhm.
and that subscribe button, you know, and encourage you also to share
That's right.
the Imagination show in your field, in your network, because we want the show to grow and to develop and to become something that is beneficial to all.
Mhm.
And so, dear family, as Sister Claudia and myself have stated, we're not going to be long this evening, but inshallah, we intend to be strong. Let me see if we got the, yeah, just 1 second, family. I want to remove something from my screen. Okay, and so we say welcome to episode 172 of the Imagination Show. Today is Thursday, March the 6th of 2025. We are already into the third month of the year. That's how fast the time is moving. And our subject today is entitled, We Can See Satan Casting Out Satan. Right. We can see it, we can observe it, we can bear witness to it, family, if we appreciate and understand what we're actually looking at. Because again, unfortunately, because so many of us in the realm of religion have been taught spooks, we think that Satan resides under the ground, and we don't understand that Satan is people, right. That Satan is on top of the ground, and he's working his evil continuously, 24 hours, 7 days a week, and he is in the form of a man. And
Or a
so,
woman.
yeah, man and woman.
That's right.
The human being,
That's right.
basically. The human being can both be God and Satan at the same time. Please don't be confused with that. You see, within each and every one of us is the capacity, family, to be God
That's right.
or to be devil, to be good or to be evil.
That's right.
We have that capacity. And there are some people who were made in a particular way. They're not original people like you and I'm talking to, the original man and the original woman, talking to black people. They did not come about at the same time as we came about. They were made, manufactured, literally, you could say, in a laboratory by one of our great scientists, one of the black gods from ancient antiquity. And as a result of the manner in which they were made, by murder, it's a grafting process, murder, lying, and deceit, all in their nature, that mentality, that attitude has been cemented. And that is the nature of Satan. That is the nature of the devil. He is a liar and a murderer from the beginning of his existence. And the lust of his father he will do. His maker is the one who used those methods of murder and lying in order to bring him out of the original people, in order to graft him out of the original people. And as a result, that grafting out process grafted in to that germ of a new people, that mentality, that attitude of lying and murder. And therefore, he has a propensity, a leaning toward the behavior, satanic behavior, as opposed to the original man whose leaning and propensity is towards Almighty God, Allah, and the doing of good. Right. He is an honor-like man. I'm going to bring you in, Sister Claudia. He is an honor-like man. He is not like the original. And we make a tremendous mistake, family, each time that we view the devil, we view Satan, and we expect him to behave like we do. We expect him to manifest righteousness when in reality, it's not within his makeup to do righteousness. It is only within his makeup to do evil. That is his inclination, right. That is his nature, that is his way. Go ahead, Sister
And just
Claudia.
to bear witness to what you're saying, I'm coming from the book, Message to the Black Man by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And this chapter is entitled The Devil. Do not take what I am teaching and writing lightly. It is the truth from your God, and you shall soon bear me witness that it is the truth. Allah has said to me that we are living in the end of the world of white rule, a race whom Allah has made manifest to you and me as being real devils. They were created to rule us for 6,000 years, and then Allah God will destroy them from the earth and give the earth back to its original owners, the black nation. The time has arrived, and you must know the truth of this race and yourself and nation. You must be reunited to your own nation. The time is ripe for your return. You will never again be slaves to another nation. Allah will make you the head and not the tail. Accept your own. Stop destroying yourself, trying to be other than your own kind and patterning after a doomed race of devils.
Wow. Wow.
Praise be to God.
I mean, you know, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's writing is just so clear.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, there's no ambiguity, family. It is It is as plain as the nose on our face.
That's right.
And just because you didn't know it before doesn't make it untrue.
That's right.
Okay?
Get the book.
That's right. Message to the black man. Every black man, woman, and child should have that book in their library.
That's right.
In the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 26, it says, "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" What a question, eh?
That's right.
Imagine.
Wow.
See, some of us want to side with Zelensky. Some of us want to side with Trump. Some of us believe that one is right and the other one is wrong. No, family, they are both Satan
That's right.
incarnate. And they are struggling over the spoils of humanity, over what they both wrongfully claim to be their own.
That's right.
Over domination of the planet Earth, while their time is up and they think that they're still in this game of domination and rule and conquering. And here you have them absolutely at loggerheads in the White House. I'm pretty sure that all of you will have seen some element of this over the past week or so. But it's just important to appreciate what you are actually looking at. And don't get caught up in the media spin and the media narrative about, geopolitics. Yes, of course, all of those things are a part of it, but the bigger picture, and you see, I went straight to the bottom line. The bigger picture is the fact that Satan is now casting out Satan. And when you hear the vitriol and the type of language that is used by Caucasians against this president, Donald J. Trump, make no mistake about it, as bad as Trump is, I can assure you that many of his detractors and those in the mainstream media and those who have been running politics until he came along, they are just as bad, if not worse than Trump. The difference being that they are career professional politicians, meaning that they are professional liars, whereas Trump is a businessman with little or no filter between his thought process and what issues from his mouth. I hope you are following, family. Let's have a look at Satan casting out Satan.
Everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're to feel.
I'm not telling you.
You're in no
answering on the
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the
the
cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're gambling
I'm the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you
You're
think
gambling
about?
with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country, that's
with all
backed you.
respect.
Family, I was dropping a sister to her home, and then after she left the vehicle, I happened to put the radio on one of the news channels, one of the radio stations, and I heard this argument. And I said, whoa, what is this? You see, family, the enemy, he really is a great deceiver. And he gives the world the impression of this genteel, gentlemanly decorum and this diplomacy that takes place behind closed doors. But this type of conversation, believe it or not, this is pretty standard and regular type of tactics and intimidation and bullying that goes on between many of these so-called world leaders behind closed doors. It just so happened that on this particular occasion, their egos were such that they couldn't contain themselves, and it all spilled out in front of the global media, and we got to see and hear some of the contention between these warring factions and these so-called allies who are only united whilst they are robbing and stealing from a third party, especially if it's us. You see, and understand this, right now, this is about Europe being at war against the Russians. But make no mistake about it, the target is really that continent of Africa, which it's always been, and the subjugation and the domination of the darker people of our planet. Family, without going into the fullness of the details of all of this, it's just really important to appreciate how Zelensky, for instance, came to that meeting, really believing the hype, really believing that he is, one of the democratic leaders of the so-called Western democracies who is on an equal footing with big, bad America. But what Trump was doing was putting Zelensky back in his box, because Zelensky has been boosted up by the West, by Britain, by America, under Biden and Sunak and all of those who went before, Starmer and now Trump. They've been giving this man billions of pounds and billions of dollars and all manner of weaponry to fight against Russia. And you got to understand that there is, in the realm of geopolitics and this Western world and its configuration, there is a battle between what you might call the nationalist and the globalist. Zelensky represents the globalist. Zelensky represents this faction of the West that wants global domination, using and utilizing their collective power against all and sundry out there who might resist them. Trump, on the other hand, he's a nationalist. Trump wants to make America great again, whatever that means, whatever MAGA means, in the sense that you have to ask yourself the question, when was America great? You see, and at whatever time period that they choose, whether it was in the 40s or the 50s, it was really, they're talking more about the 50s after the Second World War, when America became the dominant force on the planet. But during that time period, we were still being lynched. We were still suffering from racism and all manner of oppression within that American system. The American dream wasn't necessarily forwarded to Black people. And equally here in the so-called United Kingdom, we were on our way from the Caribbean on the HMS Windrush in 1948, coming into the 50s, and then we were facing signs that said no Irish, no Blacks, no dogs, and being subject to mob attacks and all manner of racist behavior from police and so-called civil mobs. And so Zelensky, dear family, is being used by the West over the last 3 years to foment war with Russia, because Russia represents an obstacle and a thorn in the side of the West, who want to have complete hegemony on planet Earth. And there must be no power that can resist this Western domination, which has been, it's been historically. That's why Britain, boasted that the sun wouldn't set on its empire, because Britain was the dominant force for centuries on our planet. And America is now supposed to be carrying on that legacy and taking it to the next level in terms of dominating, Europe, and dominating the so-called Middle East, and dominating Africa, and on and on. They want to, right now, Trump is threatening the Caribbean nations, the Caribbean countries, not to align themselves with China, who is busy investing in Caribbean nations, building roads and other infrastructure, that which America and Britain and the West have not done in all of the hundreds of years that they have been associated with the Caribbean and the so-called Commonwealth of Nations. All they've made sure was to maintain the impoverishment and the oppression of that region. But now China has come in, and of course China has its own motivation, its own self-interest. But nevertheless, China deals slightly different to the West, and China has been, you can see the results of China's presence with, like I said, the roads and other infrastructure and ports and so on and so forth. Now America is threatening China, threatening the Caribbean, that they must cut ties with China, because America wants to continue to dominate those islands in that region. And America is so arrogant, it calls the Caribbean and South America its backyard. And you can see how Trump is moving by calling the Gulf of Mexico now the Gulf of America. Now Trump wants to take over Canada and make it the 51st state of the United States. Trump wants Greenland. I mean, but Trump primarily is a nationalist, and he wants to expand the borders of the so-called United States of America, while Starmer and Macron in France and the rest of the Europeans, they are primarily globalist, and they are now clashing with Donald Trump, because Trump doesn't necessarily want to go down that particular route. And so he is trying to bring about a peace and a ceasefire between Ukraine and Russia. And these demons want that war to continue, because whilst it continues to weaken Russia, and it continues to play into the hands of the globalists, who ultimately want to control all of the minerals and all of the resources in that area called Ukraine and Russia. They dream of breaking up Russia like they broke up the Soviet Union before Russia, and basically dominating that area of our world. And so this is what you are looking at, family. You're looking at a clash of real ideologies. And in truth, again, the ideology is mostly coming from the Zelensky, Starmer, Macron court, so to speak, whereas Trump is very basic and very simple in his nationalistic viewpoint, in that he wants to dominate by having a powerful, strong, unassailable America, okay? And this is the battle and the war that's taking place between these two entities. And family, let me tell you something. You're about to see some very, very dark times. We keep telling you this as these people, because they know not any other way but war. They really just don't know peace. And Trump is like, he's just very annoying to them, coming around talking about peace and ceasefires and all of this kind of stuff. He doesn't understand the globalist agenda, or at least if he does understand it, he's actually trying to thwart it with his nationalist agenda, hence the big clash.
Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country is in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No. You've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of coming out okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
you haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
you
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through this stupid president, $350 billion.
You voted
we gave
for
you
your
military
president.
equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave,
president.
but they had to use our military.
Yes. What about
if you didn't have our military equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment,
Did you see Trump put his hand on him? Trump actually physically put his hand on him to tell him to be quiet so that he could make his point. This is a clash, dear family, of absolute egos. And with the Caucasian, we need to see this. You need to see this because you need to understand that whilst they are fighting amongst themselves, whilst they are distracted by their own internal dynamics, this is a time when you and I should be really getting on with our unity, getting on with coming together as a people and recognizing, those of us who want to try and pick a horse in this particular fight, we are so mistaken. Those of us who, want to be with Trump, or we want to be with Zelensky and the Europeans, we really are so far off the mark when we got to understand that both parties are at the end. Both parties are going down. Both are finished. Both are in a spiral of death right now. And this is what you are witnessing unfolding before your very eyes. We can see Satan casting out Satan.
This war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3 days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
maybe
new.
Less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of times to American people.
Except that there are disagreements. And let's go leave disagreements rather than try and fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's very important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful.
Listen to Trump. That's why I kept this going for so long, as if he, instigated the whole thing and he could have just shut it down. Family, Trump again, he's not a diplomat, okay? And when the argument erupted, had it been one of the seasoned politicians, one of the trained liars, they would have shut that down quick time. They would not have allowed it to have continued. I think they said that the whole thing continued for over 40 minutes. This backwards and forward thing that was going on in the White House. But you see, again, Trump, he's convinced of his own power, of his own level of control. And as far as he's concerned, he's controlling this argument. Zelensky, he's an actor. He comes from the world of comedic acting. Trump himself has been somewhat of an actor, with The Apprentice or whatever. And Zelensky is not who Zelensky thinks he is. Zelensky has been artificially boosted into this position of the president of Ukraine. And by the way, when he ran for president and he became the president on the basis of making peace with Russia, okay, and having an accommodation with Russia. But then the West, under Boris Johnson and Biden and others, they all got into Zelensky's ear and they promised him that if you would fight Russia, we will supply you, we will be with you for as long as it takes. Have you heard that language? For as long as it takes, we will be there, we will support you, and you will ultimately prevail against Russia. Family, that is an absolute lie and an absolute pipe dream. It was never going to happen, but this is what has happened to Zelensky. Now Zelensky finds himself literally now between a rock and a hard place, because, by the way, the globalists and the powers that be, they didn't calculate on Trump coming back. Trump is supposed to be finished. They're supposed to have destroyed that man. They took him to court. They charged him with countless different offenses. I mean, they really went to war. They tried to take his money. They did everything under the sun. They even attempted to assassinate this white man called Donald J. Trump. But Trump, contrary to all what they tell you, about how weak he is and how fickle he is, and this, Trump is a lot stronger as an adversary than what they calculated. And he came back against all the odds. And now they've got a real dilemma, family. And, they had a conference a couple of days ago here in the UK, because now they're working overtime because Trump is in the way of their plans for global hegemony to continue. And Trump has his own agenda to make America the sole superpower and the greatest entity on the planet, but while working with other powerful entities such as Putin in Russia, etc. But they don't want that. They want to try to destroy Russia so that the West is the only man left standing. This is a battle going on within Satan's house. And dear family, his house will not stand.
You don't have the cards. You're buried there. Your people are dying. You're running low on soldiers. Listen, you're running low on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing. And then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
With guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't with me.
For you what,
that
what
wasn't with me. That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
Dear family, I pray that you are following what's going on in the world with this Caucasian at war with himself.
I'm just going to read this little bit from The Fall of America, from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. America's Loss of Friendship. The Bible, Obadiah 15. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. America has done the worst work of deceiving other peoples and making false friendships with them. Now her turn has come. No one wants to trust her for friendship, for she has deceived many nations.
Absolutely, dear family. Look, Starmer gives Zelensky full backing in warm number 10 welcome. So this is after Trump and Vance kicks Zelensky out of the White House. They literally unceremoniously kicked the man out because of the argument that they had in the White House. The dinner, the meal that they had planned was canceled. The food was given away to the press corps. And now, few hours later, you see Britain giving Zelensky a warm number 10 welcome. Britain and France to take lead on Ukraine peace plan, says Starmer after Trump-Zelensky White House clash. The Prime Minister also vowed to double down on the UK's commitment to supporting Kiev against Vladimir Putin's 3-year war. And so again, you see these alignments taking place, and Starmer and the Europeans, they know, family, that they cannot defeat Russia by themselves without America. And so they're playing this balancing act now, trying to keep Trump on side whilst at the same time continuing to embrace Zelensky. But make no mistake about it, this is not going to end well.
President Zelensky is in Downing Street meeting Keir Starmer.
President Zelensky, can you get Trump on side? And this is for President Zelensky.
Starmer is one of these stiff white men who doesn't embrace anybody. Okay, they have a little stiff handshake. That embrace again was meant to send a signal to Donald Trump. This is politics being played at a very, very high level, dear family, because they cannot afford to have their agenda derailed, this globalist agenda, whilst at the same time, you know, they've got to try to persuade Donald Trump that he has no option but to help and embrace Zelensky in this ongoing conflict with Russia.
Can you get Trump back on side?
What's your message to the US President?
Is it too late for your relationship with President Trump?
President Zelensky, can you win without Trump?
President Zelensky, can you get Trump back on side?
What's your message to Donald Trump?
Is it too late, President Zelensky?
President Zelensky, how do you repair?
And the media, they're like hecklers from the side. What they do, their job is to absolutely instigate more and more conflict and division and problems, and their job is to absolutely just keep this thing just at a fever pitch and at a boiling point. And that's what they do. They are agent provocateurs, just throwing out those questions because they want Zelensky to say something that they can then report on that will then antagonize Trump, and vice versa. When they're with Trump, they're asking him provocative questions against the family. Man, when you're dealing with Satan, you better be careful. We better be careful.
Your relationship with President Trump.
Can you still negotiate with President Trump, Mr. Zelensky?
Can you win without the US, President Zelensky?
What's your message to Donald Trump, President Zelensky?
And by the way, this is how the career politician, not Zelensky. Zelensky, like I said, is a comedic actor playing the role of a president. But when you look at Starmer, you're looking at a consummate professional politician playing the smiling game. Everything is fine. We're just, you know, behind closed doors, they're absolutely cursing and, you know, struggling to come to terms with the facts of what faces them in this geopolitical nightmare for the white race and for the white nations who have had a field day with white supremacy that's now blowing up on itself.
Can this be repaired, President Zelensky? President Zelensky?
Two men head into Downing Street. The two men heading into Downing Street in one of the most carefully choreographed arrivals that I can remember of a foreign leader meeting the UK Prime Minister. Lots and lots to chew over there. You saw Keir Starmer deliberately walking some way out of Downing Street to show he was coming to the Ukrainian president. And then the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, who is not a tactile individual, if we're being honest, throwing his arms around President Zelensky in an embrace that was designed to be seen all around the world, and particularly in the White House. He held that embrace for some time to make sure that nobody could be in any doubt the side that he, Keir Starmer, had picked in this conflict, whatever the views of the US president and vice president, and the two men then slowly walked to the steps of Downing Street, where again they paused, they shook hands, they chatted, they looked past the journalists' questions and held their gaze into the distance before Keir Starmer walked and ushered President Zelensky in front of him into Downing Street for the meeting that we expect will last somewhere in the region of an hour. But the deliberate embrace from Keir Starmer of President Zelensky, sending the clearest possible visual signal about where Britain is right now after all the turbulence that we saw yesterday. Now we have a country picking a side. Britain stands with Ukraine.
Okay, family, we are almost there. We can see Satan casting out Satan. The Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said on multiple occasions that the Honourable Elijah Muhammad warned England is going to trick America into war and white America will be destroyed. Go ahead, Sister Claudia.
I'll add this. This is again the fall of America by the Honourable Elijah Muhammad. America wants everyone to help her bemoan all of her setbacks. But when she causes others to fall, breaks up the countries of other peoples and destroys their independence and freedom, she laughs and prides herself as doing a great thing. She puts her feet upon their economic neck and destroys their independence as a nation. All this now returns to America. The little nations are now awake. They had looked for true friendship from America, but instead America deceived them. Again, I repeat, the Bible prophecy, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Wow.
There is no friend for America. Also, it is written in the Bible, in the day of thy fall, none shall help thee. Why? Because you, America, have been and are an aid of the destruction and fall of other peoples. So who should help you in the day of your fall? This is what Allah God wants to bring home to America through his prophets. The Holy Quran refers to America in this kind of prophecy. When her doom comes, there will come one calamity after another. As soon as she thinks she is getting over the sore made by a previous calamity, another will attack her.
Wow. Wow. Family, we are looking at prophecy unfolding.
Right in front of our eyes.
Balaz Kiss says Charles III used to come to Transylvania, Romania, to family resident. That's correct. Yeah, he's got family, he's got a place in Romania, and it's literally the residence, they say, is Count Dracula, that he's related to Dracula, that he's, family, we're not even going to go there. Yes. We're not even going to go there. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, England is going to trick America into war, and white America will be destroyed. So understand this. Trump has made a stance, but now Starmer and his allies in Europe, they're working overtime now to find a way to bring Trump back on side, to bring America back on side, to continue this process of this war with Ukraine. So family, watch the space, because England is going to trick America into war. Trump may not want to go to war, but England wants the war, and they're going to find a way to get America on boots on the ground and in that war, and possibly something thermonuclear down the road, if Allah permits them to detonate any of those types of weapons. So Trump is supposed to be coming for a second state visit, but will he even bother? Family.
Throughout history, humanity has thrived by embracing the wisdom of the past while paving the way for the future. At Ancient Society, we are carrying that torch forward, bridging the gap between tradition and innovation to awaken humanity to its fullest potential. Our roots are deep, drawing from the knowledge of our ancestors to restore the balance between humanity and the planet. Guided by principles of light and love, we are committed to uplifting communities from poverty, ignorance, and isolation into a space of prosperity and unity. Our digital ecosystem is the cornerstone of this mission, a collection of platforms designed to inspire, connect, and empower. These applications are similar to popular applications such as WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok, Zoom, and eBay. With tools like Ancient Meet, we redefine virtual connectivity, making every interaction seamless and productive. On Ancient Flip, creativity finds its home, allowing Africa's vibrant youth to share their stories and earn as they entertain and educate the world. Ancient Media is more than a social platform. It's a global village where Africans at home and abroad unite, share, and earn. Every like, comment, and post translates into opportunities for growth and financial reward. At the heart of this transformation is Ancient Coin, our groundbreaking digital currency. Unlike volatile cryptocurrencies, Ancient Coin offers stability and security, backed by gold and designed to appreciate as our community grows. From street vendors to financial brokers, it's a currency everyone can trust. Our innovation doesn't stop there. With Ancient Mall, we're revolutionizing e-commerce in Africa, providing businesses with a platform to thrive without the overhead costs of physical storefronts. And Ancient Chat ensures communication is secure, intuitive, and always within reach. These tools are not just technology. They're lifelines for entrepreneurs, creatives, and communities across Africa and beyond. Ancient Society is the spark that ignites dreams and turns them into success stories. Together, we can build a legacy of innovation, sustainability, and hope. Imagine a world where every individual has the tools to thrive, where barriers dissolve, and where humanity stands united. This is the vision of Ancient Society, a future of abundance, prosperity, and unity. Join us. Fund the future. Together, we can awaken humanity to its true potential. Donate today and be a part of the revolution. Visit www.ancientsociety.tech. That's www.ancientsociety.tech. Thank you.
Dear family, check out Ancient Society and support Black innovation, Black technology. Go ahead, Sister Claudia.
Okay, continuing what you were saying. Again, from the fall of America, what will be the end of the war? Many of you think that if America ends her war in Asia, this will bring peace and prosperity to the people of America. Perhaps someday there may be a lull in the war, but not now. If America and Asia can find a way to bring about a cessation of the war between each other, this does not mean that peace and prosperity is assured. Not at this time. There is still the Cold War in Berlin between America and Russia, and in other parts of Europe to be reckoned with. Europe will become a dreadful spot when America leaves Asia. It is true, as the prophets have predicted, that America must come out of Asia or be thrown out.
Wow.
Each, America and Russia, the two most powerful war factors of the world, is seeking to maintain their rule over the nations of Earth and to conquer outer space. This will not last long. In their travel and investigation into space, Allah God is permitting them to peep into his great, unequaled creation of power and might, the heavens and earth. The Holy Quran teaches that when Allah God gets ready to destroy a people, he opens the doors of heaven to them. He gives them a peep into his great wisdom and secrets. But this does not mean that this adds power to the enemy. to be able to war against the Creator. The reason for all of this is due to the fact that Allah God is setting up a kingdom of righteousness, freedom, justice, and equality.
Wow.
So that's why if we see like the white man's progressing, it's all part of Allah's plan.
That's right. And listen very carefully, family, to, Berlin now. You will hear more and more and more about Germany coming up again. Berlin is very much in the news. And also you hear Musk talking about and Trump talking about putting the American flag on Mars.
Right.
This is all of it. All of it has been long before warned of and predicted by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Dear family, the number one aim of this world is to kill the messenger of God. That's their number one aim. If they can kill the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, kill the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, kill the messenger of God to the people today, that's their number one aim. And their aim is to bring the people of God into the pit of fire with them. And so it's not surprising that there is even talk about Britain bringing in the so-called Commonwealth countries. Are we going to fall for that old chestnut again? Caribbean nations, African nations, so-called Commonwealth nations. Now they're going to bring us in now to go and fight in Ukraine and die on that racist battlefield. So they're talking about bringing in the Commonwealth countries to fight on behalf of the West against Russia. Family, it's time to unite and join onto our own army like never before. This is what we should be doing today. This should be our aim and objective as a people.
There is a need in our community for a universal change. And it has to start with the man. Being a man of God means being a man possessed of the knowledge, the spirit, and the power of God, anointed to do his will. To build a people, you first must make man. Every man, no matter what his color, no matter what his race, every man, in order to be a man, must be a man of God, or he's not a man at all. Let us make man.
Join the FOI, family. Join the FOI. Join the MGT. Join the Nation of Islam, because this is the time that we're in now. Thank you, dear family. Thank you for being with us once again for another episode. And we pray that something that was said was of benefit to you and that you got something out of this evening's program. Sister Claudia?
Yes, thank you once again. All praises due to Allah. So don't forget, I'm not sure if you managed to watch part 2 of Savior's Day. Repent, for the kingdom of God is at hand. Don't forget, you can log on to that, rewatch that, study it on media.noi.org. Very important lecture delivered by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan through Student Minister Ismail Muhammad.
That's right.
And subscribe to the Final Call newspaper. You can get the digital edition. If you can't get the hard copy, subscribe to that paper. It's the only newspaper that is unbought and uncompromised.
That's right.
And don't forget, NOI, NOI. Final Call Radio. Tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
There will be an NOI radio
Yes,
soon.
yes, there will be, inshallah. And also during the month of Ramadan, dry throat, you can tune into the Ummah Reflects, where different people are speaking about Ramadan. So that's the Ummah Reflects. That's 5 a.m. I think, I'm not going to guess. All I know is that
Central, I think it's Central Time in America.
Yes, but you can tune on to the Ummah Reflects. Beautiful. It's been running for 19 years now. Wow. So praise due to Allah. So don't forget Ummah Reflects, and you can get that on Spotify. I'm not going to say anymore. I think I need a drink. So my mind is getting a bit muddled. But thank you all for tuning in. May Allah God continue to guide, protect, and bless you all. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for your time, because we don't like to take that for granted. It's a true honor and pleasure to have you join us, the Imagination family. May Allah God bless you and take care. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, beloved. Take care, family. Inshallah, if Allah spares our life, we will be back with you next time, same place, for another episode of the Imagination Show. May Allah bless you. Assalamu